Come test drive the Ford Edge and experience for yourself why the Edge is the crossover everyone is raving about. The new Edge, only $20,009 at Port Lavaca Ford.
Feeling like Thanksgiving, so we can get in the mood here. So
it smells like it in here, doesn't it?
Yeah, it smells wonderful in here.
Okay, it's our Thanksgiving menu, my Thanksgiving menu at least. And first I want to start by talking about the way to cook a turkey. And I'm not going to demo it this morning because it's, you know, big old turkey and having to deal with it. We have one in the roaster behind us though. But to brine a turkey is simply to submerge it in salt water with any other flavorings that you like for at least 4 to 24 hours.
And this gives it a lot of flavor.
It gives it a lot of flavor. It keeps it very moist. It keeps it, it makes the skin very crispy, and it really does give it a unique flavor. And you can use anything really that you want. And I brought, you know, you use kosher salt, which is this salt here in the box, and this 3 pounds, you use 1 pound of salt to 1 gallon of water. And for my brine, I used orange concentrate and honey, and then just regular fresh seasonings, some sage and some rosemary and some thyme, and you just put it all into a plastic container, put your turkey into it, and put it into your refrigerator.
Okay, I know that's always the biggest thing is when the turkey gets dried out, so that's always the biggest worry.
Well, this is
so it's a really easy way to make sure that you have a lot of flavor and that it stays moist.
And then we're going to make a stuffing, and this is just a very simple cornbread stuffing, so if you want to pour that in, approximately 6 large muffins, corn muffins.
Okay, and that's just like the box mix.
Either
or you
one.
can make it.
You make it from scratch, or you can have the box mix, and then you're going to add in your onions and your celery, and I already added all my flavorings to this pan.
And you just sauteed that. Okay.
And so we're going to put that in. You go ahead and mix it, and then 1 egg goes in as a binder. And then we're going to add some heavy cream into it, about 1/4 of a cup.
Okay, and you just mix all that
And this
together.
really just gives it a very good flavor. And then we want to add a little bit of beef stock. Now, I personally am against stuffing a bird. Whoops, making this here. Because I think stuffing a bird, it's first of all, it can be dangerous as far as bacteria. And it can throw off your cook time and make your bird dry.
Yeah, you have to be really careful. I know if you
a bird always has to come to 180. I usually say take it out at 170, and that way the carryover cook time will bring it up. People who leave it in the oven too long, they leave it in until 180, don't realize that it continues to cook for 30 to 45 minutes after it's already setting. Right. So you've got to allow for that cook time, otherwise you do end up with a very dry bird.
Okay.
Now we're going to pour this into the buttered casserole dish.
Okay. Can you use like non-stick cook spray, or is butter better to
you can use stick spray, or sorry, spray oil if you want. But I kind of like the
smells really good.
And then this is just going to go into our oven.
You just bake that. How long do you bake it for?
We're going to bake it for 30 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Are we okay?
Yeah, we're just about out of time. So coming up, what will we be making?
When we come up, we're definitely going to make what we've decided to call Victoria's Best turnovers with an apricot glaze, and it is an excellent, quicker way to cook apple pie. And it's an apple pie with a twist. It does have a special ingredient in it.
So you could do that for a breakfast type pastry or as a dessert.
And then if we can, we're going to make orange cranberries.
Ooh, that sounds
really good.
All right. Well, of course, everyone has their own recipe for Thanksgiving meals. And if you'd like to incorporate Amy's into your Thanksgiving meal, you can get the recipes on our website, which is myvictoriaonline.com. They'll be on there after the newscast. Welcome back. We are in the News Center 25 Lowe's kitchen with Chef Amy, and she's showing us how to make some different recipes for our traditional holiday meal. And we made some dressing earlier, and then also you showed us how to brine the turkey. And now we're making a dessert, or I guess you could do it as a breakfast item if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could do it as a breakfast.
Anytime you want something sweet to eat.
It would be. Okay, these are Victoria's Best apple pie turnovers with apricot glaze, and the secret to these is actually Havarti cheese, which you can get at the large H-E-B here in town. And it is a very creamy cheese. It is a semi-soft cheese. It is very earthy. And I got this idea because people put sharp cheddar in their apple pie, which I find strange.
Yeah, that does.
But anyways,
so
but
this
people
melts
actually
really
do.
easily.
Yes, it melts good, and it doesn't fight with the apples at all. But you just put your apple pie filling in the croissant. It's 2 croissants made like in kite shape, and then you just roll them up. So you can go ahead and try one. You just put, and then we're going to take our glaze. I'm going to move behind you.
So you just put one good piece of apple in there?
1 or 2, and 2 is what I've been doing. And then you just use your apricot glaze.
So it gives you kind of a
here.
variety of fruit flavors too.
Well, I've decided you could probably do this with just about anything from cherries to lemon to maybe pumpkin. You know, the biggest problem you have is just wrapping it, but once you can master the wrapping part of
Yours
it,
looks a lot prettier.
and then you're going to sprinkle them with some chopped pecans.
Okay.
That looks so good.
And so then,
If you use cherries or something like that, would you use the same kind of cheese?
yeah, I would think you could use. I would use the same cheese, but I happen to like Hervati a lot. You can also use Gruyere. You could also. You know, you just take your 2 little.
Okay, so they come already together, and you just have to.
Yeah,
flip
they
them
come
around.
together. You just maybe like this and make a kite shape with them.
Okay,
Good.
And
pretty simple.
and fill it up. Sorry, I stepped on you.
I'm always
All right, and then
So,
how long do you bake those for?
You bake them for about 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay.
And until actually we have some already done, and I already
so
split
good.
us some so we could try them. But and then we also have string bean casserole, and what makes this unique is I made my own fried onions instead of buying the can, which is real simple. Cut your onions real thin, dredge them through flour, and be sure you get off the excess, and then you have to deep fry them until they are very, very crisp.
Okay, and you were saying that they will, because they're homemade, they'll come out real dark like that.
They are going to come out dark because you want them this dark to taste like the ones in the can. Okay, so, and then of course we have our sweet potato, mashed potato, and our oranges, and all the recipes, of course, are going to be on your website.
Right.
So at myvictoriaonline.com.
You also have
So,
some tips on the gravy as far as when people are making gravy.
Yes, and those are also going to be posted on the online as different tips for what to do if your turkey is dry, what to do if your turkey is lumpy. If it's lumpy, you could actually just strain it and strain it through a strainer to get the lumps out.
You don't have to sit there and try to mash all the little
And if your
lumps.
turkey is dry, put it in some broth and bring it to a gentle simmer on the stove, and it'll rehydrate the meat so that it won't be quite so dry. And then, of course, we didn't have time for the cranberries, but we do have the cranberry, which is simply whole cranberries, fresh or frozen, some orange zest and orange juice, and you simmer it on the stove and for about 15 minutes, and then it's done.
And you can always buy cranberry sauce canned, but it's always better when it's homemade.
It's a lot better homemade.
Yeah,
It's
so.
a lot better.